So this episode is really important. This is actually about creating the business model that you're going to create upon. Now, the biggest problem personal trainers have is actually creating the wrong business model from the very start. This is where the traditional business model, it's a lie. It doesn't give us what we want. We all were thinking, right, we get to work the hours that we want, we get to charge what we want, and it's all going to be fantastic. But the biggest problem we face that no one actually told us about was the time for money trap. This is where you're not able to earn the money, have the freedom, and really have all these components work together because you have to be there in the gym, seeing your clients, and if you're not, you're actually losing money. So anytime that you're sick, you want to have some time off, go on holidays, or do anything, or even go and do courses and upskill yourself, you're actually losing money not seeing your clients. So we want to totally change this. This is about creating a business that operates without you having to be there. This is about creating a business that means it's truly going to give you what you want. The truth is, it's all a lie. The personal training business model that you are working so hard at, that is the foundation of your future and success, is a dying model. And there is a much simpler and easier way. If you're frustrated from trying everything that you've been told before, following the advice from the gurus or even the PT certifications, and if you're feeling right, you're just spinning your wheels and you're not getting there. You're working so hard at trying to build your business, but it's not really trying to find traction. It's not really working for you. It's time for a change. And this is what I want to give you, importantly, in this episode, setting you up with the right business model, setting you up so you are able to have the freedom that you want, to be able to earn the money that you want, to be able to have the positive impact that you want, and by doing all of that, by doing only the work that you love. And if you're nodding your head right now saying yes, then you have to ask yourself, are you going down the wrong path? Because if you are, it's time for a change. The real fact is the industry is changing, and if you don't hop on board and if you don't get on board being able to go with the change, you're going to be left behind, because the way people are choosing their personal trainers, the way people are choosing what diet they're going to do, what workouts they're going to follow, all these things, they're getting chosen through a different means. They're going online and they're being influenced by people, and it's your job right now to get in front of the people that you want to help. And I want to show you what's working from me being able to work with the coaches, trainers, and health professionals around the world right now, them being and growing their own dream fitness business. And this is what I'm using with my multiple online businesses as well. This is really about one of the biggest problems with the traditional personal training business model is the time for money trap. This is where you aren't able to have the freedom that you want. You're not able to earn the money that you want because there's a limit to what you want. There's a ceiling to the success that you wanted to be able to break through. You can only see a certain number of clients in a day because there's only a certain number of hours in the day, and you can only charge a certain amount. All these limiting factors are actually holding you back. So it's time to break through and use what's in this episode to build a true business model. The second biggest problem is that you're not getting a strong grasp The second biggest problem is that you're not getting a strong grasp of the online power, being able to use the little thing called the internet to be able to have the influence, to be able to have clients and customers coming to you. The second biggest problem is that you're not getting a strong grasp on using the power of online to be able to grow your following, grow your customers and clients, sell the products, programs, and packages that you have. What you really need to be able to do is get on board, because if you don't, you're going to get left behind. The way people are choosing their personal trainers, or what diet to follow, or what training program they want to follow, it's all through a different means. So what this really is about is creating the right business model that gives you the concrete foundation to build upon what you want, to be able to really have the impact that you want with the bodies and the lives of the customers that you want to help. Now, it really comes down to the main quote that I used in my book, Your First 100 Clients, that is from Tony Robbins, saying, don't sell your time for money. It's the worst trade in the world. And I think that hammers it so perfectly, because it was the slap to my face when I realized I was in the wrong position and needed to change. So I want to make things a hell of a lot easier for you and walk you through this now. And let's make sure that the business model that you can create from this episode right now is going to tackle three major things. Firstly, it's going to be able to give you to have a wider range, leverage and scale. You can have a bigger impact. You can be able to help more people, and more importantly, you can really give them what they want, really give the results that you want to be able to give through the expertise, the knowledge and experience that you already have. Secondly, you want to be able to earn the money that you want. Now, let's face it, money isn't the be all and end all, but it's really important. And if you want to be able to live a better lifestyle, then you need to be able to earn what you are worth. And then thirdly, you want to be able to have freedom. The freedom factor is obviously really important to me. For me, I want to be able to live around the world. I want to be able to have my family with me the whole time. I want to be able to goof around and play around and not be stuck in just one place of my work. So Bali right now is fantastic for us, and this is where I want to be. So if the freedom factor is important for you, then let's make sure that we put that in. So let's look at some popular options now that you can go down upon actually building your business model. And also importantly, in the next episode, this is where I'm going to show you the actual sales funnel, the natural flow of steps, so you can go and be able to grow your following, and then how do you actually turn that into your customers and clients. So let's start with online personal training. This is a really popular option because it's a close change from actually doing face-to-face personal training and bringing it to the online realm. What you really need to be able to do with online personal training is give a clear message from what we used in the last episode, but being able to only take on the right types of clients. There are obviously, firstly, the major problem is that you can't take everyone on with online personal training, especially in the traditional means so many people think, because you can only have people that can obviously follow through with a training program, are able to easily follow through the diet that you give, which really means what you need to be able to do is firstly take on the right customers and clients. Secondly, you need to be able to deliver what they need to be able to follow through. So you need to be able to figure out, right, what do they actually need? As a bonus, I'm going to add a link below, which is a full episode with one of my main online personal trainers that works with me, so you can have a sneak peek behind the scenes for how we run our online personal training. Now, importantly, you need to do 3 major things to be able to work with your online personal training clients. Firstly, you need to be able to assess them. You need to be able to work out where they are and how you actually develop the program that you have to give them. Secondly, you actually have to be able to educate them. You need to be able to walk them through how best they need to follow through with the program. And thirdly, you need to be able to motivate and guide them. You need to be able to give them the right steps, just like you would. That would be the massive boost of when your personal training clients come and see you right now, but on a face-to-face level, how can you give that experience in an online level? Ultimately, what you need to be able to do is think about how do you give the quickest and the easiest results to your clients. And then we can move to another model of you being able to work with small groups. Do you run a training program of all the people that start and finish at the same time? This can then also move over to another model that is a membership site based model. This is where you can work with one to many and people start and finish all at different times. Essentially, this is also going into a recurring model. Especially what I like about this and what so many other trainers want to be able to use this in their business as well is a recurring model means you get it set up, you be able to help drive people into your membership, and people are ongoing. This means that you can have an income month to month that you know is going to be there, which obviously gives you a really great security factor. And then this is where we can go to selling actually one-off products and programs. Whether you want to be able to sell diets, programs, guides, protocols, whatever it is that your market best needs, this is where you can set it up. Okay, do you sell one product? Do you create multiple products and they can buy them in succession? What do you need to be able to do? Now, I'll give you a little inside hint. A lot of people want to start with selling just one product and then having multiple products and then selling them that way. Another great way to do this is if you actually take that model and put that back into the membership model that I was just talking about again, having one housing user. Now, the answer really is what's going to suit you. I can't give you the answer without knowing you, without going through where you're at and ultimately what the business model is that you want to create and the success that you define that you want to have. And this is where we can go to now a higher end model of running retreats. This is where you can do events that it could be local or you can be running international retreats. So many clients are running these successfully now that can be in Bali, Spain, Portugal, wherever it is you want. It could be in your backyard or you can have a great excuse to be able to have a holiday. Ultimately, this is a high-end ticket offer that you want to be able to give a great experience and a great result from. Now, the true answer is all these different models, all these different offers that you've been able to put together right now, it needs to answer what does your customer and client really need and how do you actually have a line of these. Now, a common personal training business model that we can have for online can simply be just online personal training where you just deliver where you just deliver a one-on-one consulting basis to be able to give them the diets, the workouts, the guidance, the coaching that they really need. What you can also do is then tap an extra add-on. What you can do is have a really high-end coaching model where you're able to charge a much higher amount. They have a much more interaction with yourself, but then also the lower end model means they sign on and everything's already pre-done. You could have already written the program once and they're able to jump on board. Now, then we can take a multiple step from that, which then means you can go to a more advanced model again, which is actually quite simple to put together. You can have one-off programs and products that you sell for once. You can then have a membership where you can put thousands of people working all together with a minimal input from yourself, and then you can go to a high-end one-on-one coaching where you still have that interaction and really coaching someone through the steps to create ultimate results. And then you can have the fourth model on top of that where you're running retreats as well. Now, ultimately, you've got to decide on what's your starting base. What are you going to start with right now, and then what do you want to build across? I always recommend to all my clients, start with one major focus, whether it just wants to be online personal training or whether you want to just say go the membership model to start with. It's all going to work, but then it's about doing the right things to actually set that model up and ultimately move to where you want to go to. Because imagine when you've got a business model that could be the 4 different tiers working all together and the automation already there, you really have a striving business that is able to grow without you having to do the manual labor because you've already set everything up on the front end, which really gives you the long-term success. Now, this is where you have to pull the trigger and take action. This is about you now designing the business model that you ultimately want to create, but we have to start at the start line first. So what is the one starting program that you are going to go down? Is it going to be a one-off product or program? Is it going to be online personal training? Is it going to be a membership? Or are you even going to go to retreats to start off with? All of those options are options that you can start with, but ultimately you have to choose one. And what you need to do is then, once you've chosen your one stream, is flesh it out. What is it that you are actually going to serve in this? What are you actually going to be giving? What are all the different features that you are going to include? And why is it enticing for your customers and clients to want to come onto this? Now, this is so important to put together because in the next episode, I'm going to be walking you through the sales funnel, which is essentially just the natural set of steps that is going to be able to grow your following, but then we actually turn that following in your customers and clients. And we need to know before we can do that what your actual business model is and what you're actually doing. What is you're actually servicing? What is it involved in your product or program? And then what we're going to do is actually create the ultimate program that is your first stream, that is the pillar of your business model. So what I want you to do from now is join the Fitness Business Success Circle, the private group, and I want you to put in what is your first product, program, service going to be? What is the foundation of your business model so I can help you, everyone else can jump in, you get the power of the mastermind. But importantly, this really is about you taking action right now. I don't want you to watch these episodes and then just go off to something else. What is really important is if you're going to take action for yourself, create the business that you want, ultimately giving you the ability to earn the money that you want, to have the lifestyle and freedom that you want, to have the positive impact that you want, and all while doing what you love. So it's time for you to put it into play right now. And as always, I'm looking forward to seeing you in the private group and seeing you in the next episode. Now it's time for you to get the most out of this, and this is where I can jump in and give the answers that you need. So ask your questions in the comments below so I can personally come through and answer them for you. Plus, the best discussions happen on chrisdufay.com. So click on over to get everything that I've got there for you. And did you like this episode? Because if so, click subscribe so I can send you all the episodes to come for free straight to you. And for everything that I can't fit in these episodes, plus the free guides and coaching episodes, then click on over to chrisdufay.com now. Looking forward to seeing you soon and in the success community.